So we should be going live there. Good, brilliant. So joining on Facebook and YouTube, good morning. Welcome to our Tuesday morning class. We are going to work on the qigong practice that we did last week as well, the 5-element flow with a little bit of mobilization first. I'm just going to use this microphone. I might sound a little bit echoey, but hopefully you will hear me okay because my other one wasn't working this morning. So find your comfortable standing position, and let's just jump on the other camera, and let's start off with some spinal cord breathing. So remember at the beginning here we're mobilizing the body, getting the energy flowing through the body. A little bit of bend in the knees, breathing in, opening up, and then breathing out, tucking the pelvis, rounding the spine, and following your breath. Keep the breathing smooth. If the breathing is smooth, then the movement is going to be smooth. Go at your comfortable pace. Think of opening up the front of the body, the front of the spine, as we expand. Tilting the pelvis as well. And then just take a rest when you're ready. And then let's do dog wags the tail. So shifting your pelvis side to side, but keep that pelvis parallel to the ground. So really feel the shifting weight from each leg, and then free up the upper body. So just imagine you have the tail at the end of the tailbone, wagging the tail, and then that spine follows the movement. I was doing some decorating at the weekend, and I was sticking some massive big wood panels on the bedroom ceiling, and I was like this, and yesterday I could hardly move, and today I can really feel it in my spine. So I could do this all day long. Really freeing up, particularly in between the shoulder blades, the upper back, and into the neck. And then taking a rest. Nice and tall through the spine, thinking of the spine from the crown of the head. Visualize from the crown of the head a central axis running through the body. So that helps you not leaning forwards, backwards or forwards. So really keep that strong central axis. Use that as a rotational axis in which to do knocking. And just letting the arms and the shoulders relax. Just tapping on the back and the belly. Not forcing. gradually slowing it down, and as we slow it down we just bring a little bit of resistance to the arms. So it's almost like you're running your fingers through dense air or water around you, water waves is what the movement is called in qigong. It's really always great because they have these great names that give you an intention to the movement. So you're not just moving for the sake of it. Really nice and slow and smooth. And then take a rest when you're ready. Give your legs a little bit of a shake. Do a little bit of a stretch before we go into the flow. So we've done a little bit of movement, we've done a little bit of loosening, a little bit of getting the energy and the blood flowing through the body. Now we'll do a little bit of a bit more of a stretch. So we take our feet a little bit wider apart. And let's turn our feet out a little bit. And as we lower our centre of gravity, so remember, think about the centre of gravity being below the belly button. So we're not tilting the pelvis, I'm not going into a squat position, I'm just lowering centre of gravity. Gives you a nice little lengthening there through the groin, through the front of the hips. Watch that the knees don't drop in or out. Just go to a comfortable depth and then use the ground just to straighten the legs without locking the knees. So I'm not just jarring and locking the knees out. Legs are straight, but there's still a little bit of softness in the knee there. So we're extending the legs, not hyper-extending the legs. Really using the ground. So there's a nice stretch through the groin, and there's a nice stretch as you lengthen the legs out. And then we can add to that the upper body, and you're just pushing to the side. So we're lengthening out and stretching out the arms, and then as you're standing up, arms just coming down soft there, and then pushing out to the side. And again, it's creating that little bit of resistance, and you can almost create as much or as little resistance as you need. You can really push, but as always, that breath is steady. I'm not forcing the breath, I'm not forcing the movement, I'm not forcing any joints. I'm doing it nice and slowly, calmly, controlled, balanced. So think of this as more of a stretching or a lengthening of the muscles, of the ligaments, of the tendons. Let's do a couple more. Good. And then take a rest. Walk your feet in safely. One more little lengthening. We'll do the full body flow. With this one, again, really stay within your comfortable range of motion. But the idea is we're stretching out the front line of the body. So we're opening up this way, and then you're stretching out the back line of the body as you're lengthening out that way. But again, it's not going to the point where we're forcing anything. It's just going at your own comfortable pace, your own comfortable range of motion. So bringing the hips forwards a little bit and then hinging forwards. Go a little bit wider on the feet. Hinging forwards, nice long back. You'll feel that length down the back of the hamstrings. And then bend the knees a little bit, roll down, slowly roll down. Get the knees nice and low, nice and bent, and then push through the ground. Really use that push through the ground and the roll up to come up to standing. And then again, keep this nice and gentle, no forcing. It's very tempting when you're stretching to force or overstretch. If we overstretch, the body just tightens up even more because it just goes into protection mode. So if you do this nice, gentle, think of the way animals stretch, how a cat stretches. So the idea is to just lengthen out the front of the body, the front of the spine, and then lengthen out the back of the body, back of the legs, back, hamstrings. Keeping it smooth and calm, no jarring movements. Let's do one more. Good. Have a little bit of a shake out the legs. So we've done mobilization, we've done a little bit of stretching, the breath has stayed calm, the heart rate has stayed low. Give the shoulders a good shake, tap your heels into the floor if you want to tap your heels into the floor. Really get that vibration going through the body. Let's do a few cleansing and clearing breaths, and that is just taking a calm, full breath in through the nose and letting go. Let the shoulders go, really let the shoulders go. And then slowing it down, slowing it down, slowing it down, slowing it down. Feels nice and tingly. Where do you sense those tingles? Fingers, legs, arms? Letting the breath settle. And we'll just go through now we'll do the 5-element qigong flow practice. I'll keep it to minimal cues, so I'll just give you the very, very basic cues. We'll just keep it nice and silent, or as silent as possible. If you've not done the practice before, if you're just learning the practice, just follow. Don't feel you have to do it in any particular way. Remember, when we're doing a flow practice, the idea is we've mobilized the energy within our body, we've stretched out the body. So now the energy that we've created with our mobilization and stretching, that energy actually then helps to move the body. So it's a subtle difference between I'm doing this particular movement as opposed to now the breath and the energy is moving me. And that's what the idea of getting into a flow movement is. So let's start off with Buddha holds up the earth. So breathing in as you expand and breathing out as the body softens and contracts. And with all of the flow movement, just find your rhythm, find your flow, find your range of motion. It's not about watching me or watching anybody else. Do one more in your own time. And then we just take a standing posture for a moment, just with that little bit of roundness in the elbows and just facing your palms towards the lower belly there. Just breathing gently. Moving into the fountain, back of the hands together, lengthening up through the spine, out to the sides. Remember, all of these movements, the whole body is involved, so they're not just arm movements. You might find a little tilt forwards here, a little bit more weight through the heels, standing a little bit taller here. But not trying to move in a particular way. Do one more of these in your own time. And then the standing posture, just for a moment, is almost the same as this position, but then just bringing your arms behind you, so the focus is more behind, the focus is more breathing into the back. So if I just show you, watch that we're not locking everything out there, keep that little bit of roundness in the elbow, maybe a slight tilt forwards there. There's a piece I was reading on isometric contraction, i.e. Holding a position basically, and how it is good for blood pressure. And then the next movement, bringing the palms forwards again, facing up. And then tree sways in the wind. So we rotate to one side, breathing in. This is where we can enjoy the spaces between the breath, the pause at the top of the breath, then breathing out. The stillness at the bottom of the breath, and then breathing in. Breathing out. But again, really emphasizing go at your rhythm, your pace. Let your breath guide the movement. One more each side in your own time. Moment in the standing posture, palms facing the chest. So it's like hugging a tree. Excuse me. So relaxing the shoulders. Getting a little bit of softness in the elbow. We're holding a position, but we're still breathing. So breathing lightly. And then moving into cloudy hands, so one palm facing down, moving from the hips and the waist, keeping it nice and smooth. And that transition between direction. And just breathing easy, lightly, softly with this one. You don't have to breathe in any particular way. Remember, in relaxing the face, having that sense of inner smile. And then the standing posture for this one is just bringing the elbows together. It's like you're holding a goblet in your hands there. So, sorry, not too tight together on the elbows, but just connecting rather than there. So you get almost like a number 11 through the forearms there. And then we'll just finish just with pulling down the heavens, breathing in, breathing out. Really centering ourselves, connecting our thumbs there, connecting our thumbs, bringing our hands just to rest on the lower belly, bringing our feet together, and just taking just a moment just to close your eyes. The standing posture, bamboo in the wind. And the idea of strength and flexibility, allowing your body just to find its natural balance, the breath to settle. and taking a calm, full breath in through the nose. Opening your eyes at the top of that breath, giving yourself a very gentle rub down. And we will finish there. Good, good, good. Thursday I'll be away again, so someone will be covering the class on Thursday. If you're watching on Zoom, there'll be a live class. If you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, there will be a replay of one of our what we call classic classes. So yeah, I will see you next Tuesday, 7:45 on Zoom again for a catch up. Have a little think. I know we talked about this, just have a little think about the best way if you want to ask questions in between the sessions, where you would prefer that to be, whether you want it to be in the WhatsApp group if we're talking on Zoom here, Facebook, because it is nice to be able to have that communication as well between the classes, particularly as I'm not here every Thursday for the next few weeks. Have a great day. Thanks for joining as always. It's just starting to rain here as I'm going to go out running, but hey, I like running in the rain. Have a good day, and I will see you next Tuesday. Take care. Bye. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.